proudly stand in front of you today to express my compassion for equality. It is time to stand up for our brothers and sisters. It is time to accept that every person, whether male or female, black or white, gay or lesbian, deserve equal rights. It is time to end marriage discrimination. The purpose of my speech today is to bring awareness to the marriage inequality in this country and to persuade you to be an advocate for same-sex marriage rights. We are living in a time of great change. Listening to this speech and opening up yourself to the message will benefit your life because it is a very current topic in the media and politics. And it's important to arm yourself with knowledge when forming opinions and making educated votes in upcoming elections. I feel credible to speak to you today, for I have been a strong ally to the gay and lesbian community for the majority of my life. One of my closest friends growing up into this day is a gay man, and throughout the years I have seen his pain and heard his cries as he has dealt with years of oppression and bullying and shame. This assignment has taught me to educate my opinions, and the facts that I have found are astonishing. I'm going to begin by first discussing the public opinion of same-sex marriage and address some common misconceptions that are widely held. Second, I'm going to talk about civil rights, particularly those rights that are denied to same-sex couples. Next, leading into reasons why civil unions are not a substitution for marriage. And finally, concluding by sharing ways that you can be an advocate and make a change. Let's start by viewing America's evolving opinion of same-sex marriage over the last decade. In 2001, Americans opposed same-sex marriage by a 57 to 35% margin. Today, public opinion is about evenly split. This is due in part to generational change. Younger generations express higher levels of support for same-sex marriage. In a 2011 polling done by Pew Research Center, millennials, those born in 1981 or later, are twice as likely as the silent generation, those born between 1928 and 1945, to support same-sex marriage. Among religiously unaffiliated people, a solid majority have supported same-sex marriage since 2001, while Catholics and white mainline Protestants' support has increased dramatically over the past decade. White evangelical and black Protestants have remained lower than other groups. Democrats have also become more supportive over the decade. Support has also risen amongst independents, while most Republicans continue to oppose. One common misconception perpetuated by the media is that being gay is a choice, and those who are gay should and could just stop. The American Psychological Association, the American Medical Association, the American Psychiatric Association, and the American Academy of Pediatrics, along with numerous others, all say that being gay is not a choice. It should not be treated as a mental disorder. It cannot be changed, and attempts at changing are damaging. Another common misconception is the idea that marriage is a solely religious joining. I contest that idea by pointing out that people can be married in a courtroom without religion at all. Marriage outside of those rules might not be recognized by the church, but by law, marriage is only a legal contract. Two adults entering a binding contract to share finances, property, children, etc. So why should law have any regulation on which two consenting adults enter that contract? The only argument against it is based on religion and morality, which is also based in religion. It shouldn't be made into law because the separation of church and state. It states clearly in the First Amendment that Congress shall make no law respecting the establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. It cannot be argued that same-sex marriage is un-American or threatens the rights of others. On the contrary, denying two consenting adults of the same sex The right to form a lawful union that is protected and respected by the state denies them two of the most basic national rights offered in the preamble of our Declaration of Independence: liberty and the pursuit of happiness. We, as Americans, are all deserving of basic civil rights. This leads me to my second point. A 1997 report by U.S. General Accounting Office identified 1,049 federal laws in which benefits, rights, and privileges are contingent upon marital status. Since same-sex marriage is not legal at the federal level, these 1,049 benefits, rights, and privileges are denied to same-sex couples. Here are examples of just a small fraction of these benefits. On September 21st, 1996, President Bill Clinton signed into law a single piece of legislation making it legal to deny rights to same-sex couples. The Defense of Marriage Act, known as DOMA, denies federal recognition of same-sex marriages, gives to each state the right to refuse recognition of same-sex marriage license issued by other states. Under Section 2 of the Act, states that have not legalized same-sex marriage are not required to recognize same-sex marriages in states that have, and it allows individual states to ban same-sex marriage. Section 3 defines marriage as solely between a man and a woman. There are only 6 states that currently allow same-sex marriage. Those are Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, Connecticut, Iowa, Washington, and New York. DOMA forces married gay and lesbian couples to either reside in the state where their licenses were issued or lose benefits of marriage in their home state. DOMA denies partners access to federal benefits given to their partners. The federal government doesn't recognize same-sex marriage, which means gay and lesbian partners of federal employees do not receive federal health insurance, Social Security, or any other benefits given to heterosexual employees. The idea behind DOMA is to define and protect the institution of marriage. Really? If they really want to protect the institution of marriage, shouldn't they be protecting it from these people? The American Psychological Association wrote in a 2010 press release, research has shown that marriage provides substantial psychological and physical health benefits due to the moral, economic, and social support extended to married couples. Conversely, recent empirical evidence has illustrated harmful psychological effects of policies restricting marriage rights for same-sex couples. Additionally, children raised by same-sex couples have been shown to be on par with children of opposite-sex couples in their psychological adjustment, cognitive abilities, and social functioning. Marshall Bornstein, Associate Professor of Psychiatry at Harvard University Medical School, has stated that same-sex marriage provides stability for couples in terms of public acknowledgement of their commitment and provide legitimacy for the children being raised by gay and lesbian parents. From a mental health perspective, nothing is more basic to happiness and liberty than the right to love another human being with the same privileges and responsibilities as everyone else. Those privileges and responsibilities for couples joined in a civil union are not equal to a couple joined in marriage. This brings me to my third point. The right to marry is not about an actual legal ceremony, but an equal right to the extensive list of legal protections awarded to married couples. The benefits given to legally married couples range from tax relief to medical decision-making. There are only 5 states that allow civil unions, providing state-level spousal rights to same-sex couples. Those are Delaware, Hawaii, Illinois, New Jersey, and Rhode Island. Civil unions may seem like equal unions, but the protections they give to registered couples is often far less than actual marriage. For example, while a marriage offers over a combined 1,049 federal and state-level benefits, civil unions only offer 300 state-level benefits, thus providing no federal protection. So why do we need same-sex marriage and not just civil unions? Here are a few reasons. Citizens joined in marriage can make emergency medical decisions. Citizens joined in civil unions can, in a registered state, make emergency medical decisions, but may not be able to make a life-changing decision outside of that registered state. In a case of a partner's death, spouses may receive Social Security or veteran benefits. In civil unions, partners do not receive Social Security or any other government benefits. In case of divorce from marriage, individuals may have a legally binding financial obligation to their ex-spouse and children. In case of a dissolution of civil union, no such spousal or child benefits are guaranteed or even required out of state. Civil unions perpetuate the outdated idea of separate but equal. The issue all comes down to equality. It's easy to say that civil unions are good enough, but it's giving it a different name and giving it different rights is just not equal, and that's just not good enough. Homosexual people are treated like second-class citizens. Because of this tragic fact, it is of the utmost importance that all Americans are compassionate towards their plight and willing to stand up for their rights. I'm not sure I would be here speaking in front of you if other people didn't fight for my rights and my equality, our equality. The majority of this class are women. Would we be able to be in a classroom choosing an education of our choice if someone didn't fight for our rights? And this leads me to my final point, and that is what you can do to be an advocate for same-sex marriage. You've already begun to help today by educating yourself. Talk to your friends and family. Sign a petition for same-sex marriage. Write letters to your congressmen and senators. Tell your government how you feel through voting. Don't hide your compassion for equality. You don't have to be a homosexual to get active. In fact, you don't even have to believe that homosexuality is right. You just have to realize that because we are all American, we are all deserving of the same basic equal rights. Fight for the rights of others, because someday in the future you might know someone or you might be that someone whose rights are being denied. If adulterers and murderers can wed, there is no reason why law-abiding, tax-paying homosexual citizens cannot. Same-sex marriage equality continues to be one of the remaining human rights challenges of our time. Wouldn't you be proud to tell your children or your grandchildren that you stood up for the rights of fellow citizens in a time of great need? In conclusion, I hope from my speech today you leave feeling more aware and educated about the marriage inequality in this country, and that you find ways in your life to advocate for same-sex marriage rights. Today we've observed the evolving public opinion of same-sex marriage and brought to light some common misconceptions held by the public eye. Your attention was brought to civil rights denied to same-sex couples and the reasons why civil unions perpetuate inequality and are not a substitute for marriage. And finally, practical, simple ways you can get active and become an advocate for civil rights. Vietnamese Buddhist monk and peace activist Thich Nhat Hanh offers great wisdom in this quote. When we come into contact with other persons, our thoughts and our actions should express our mind of compassion, even if that person says or does things that are not easy to accept. We practice in this way until we see clearly that our love is not contingent on the other person being lovable.